By 2030, the World Economic Forum says that 92 million jobs will be replaced, but it will also create 170 million new ones. Now that sounds like a good news, right? But here's the dark side of it. Almost 40% of the skills that people are using today will be obsolete. So the question isn't which job will you have? The question is which skills will matter when the ground shifts and how are you going to adapt to that? And that's exactly what I'm breaking down today in this video, the future-proof skills that the employers and even the billionaires will pay top dollar for and how you can start building them right now. So welcome to Logically Wired, where we cut through the hype, and today, by the end of this video, you will know which of these skills you already have, which are the ones that you need to work on, or which are the ones that you need to double down on. So make sure you stick till the end. Now, while you're here, think about this. Which skill do you believe will never be replaced by AI? Hold on to your answers. We'll circle back to that later. So skill number 1, complex problem framing and analytical thinking. Now everyone talks about problem solving, but here's the truth. The most valuable people in 2030 will not just be solving problems. In fact, they won't be solving problems at all because AI is doing that for them. They'll be the ones who will be able to frame those problems correctly. The World Economic Forum found that 69% of the employers rate analytical thinking as the number 1 skill of the future. Think about this. If you're in a climate policy and you think that the real problem is just to reduce CO2, well then you're missing the systematic issues. Issues like economics, politics, and even culture. The real money goes to the people who reframe what's the actual system at play here. Now let's take an example of Tesla. Elon Musk didn't just say how do we make better cars. He reframed it. How do we transition humanity to sustainable energy? That framing alone unlocked Tesla. So now the question comes, how do you build this skill? Well, you can take a messy issue in your life, write the assumption behind the common solutions, flip one assumption and ask yourself, what if that's false? Practice explaining it simply. If you can't explain it to a teenager, that means you don't fully get it. Skill number 2, resilience, flexibility, and leadership and ambiguity. You see, resilient is not just about toughing it out. It's adapting in chaos, leading when the roadmap is foggy. According to the World Economic Forum, 67% of the employers say that resilience and flexibility are critical. Leadership and influence follow at 61%. You remember what happened during COVID? Entire companies froze. The ones who thrive weren't the ones with the perfect playbooks. They were the leaders who could pivot. They were the leaders who could keep people calm and rally teams through uncertainty. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Wealthy people and employers pay for this because chaos is the new normal. But here's the harsh truth. In the fog, average performers stall while the future leaders adapt. So how do you build this? Put yourself in projects where there is no instruction manual. Practice small pivots, set a plan, test it, reflect and adjust. Study crisis leadership stories from military commanders to startup founders. You will learn a lot. By the way, if you had to describe your resilience level in one word, what would that word be? Make sure you drop it in the comments. I'm curious to see the range. Skill number 3, judgment and decision making under uncertainty. You see, in 2030, the winners won't be the people with most data. They'll be the people who can decide when the data is incomplete. McKinsey highlights this in their leadership studies. Executives who move fast with good enough data will outperform those who wait for perfect clarity. Think startups. You never have full information. But do you pivot or do you push? Waiting kills momentum. If you are lacking judgment, you will get paralyzed. But if you have it, you will be the one shaping industries. Well, so how do you build this? Well, play scenario games. Imagine 3 possible futures for your field. Decide how you would act in each of them. Limit your inputs, make a call with half of the information and then reflect later. Learn the OODA loop, which is observe, orient, decide and act. That's going to help you a lot. Skill number 4, creative synthesis and cross-domain fusion. Now AI can generate content, AI can do a lot of work, but what it can't do, it cannot fuse disciplines the way humans do. The World Economic Forum ranks creative thinking in the top 5 core skills for 2030. Take an example of Steve Jobs. Tech plus calligraphy is equal to beautiful design. Today's breakthroughs come from these fusions. Psychology plus user experience, biology plus engineering, and ethics plus AI. And with all of these fused together, you will be the bridge that others will pay to cross. Now building the skill is really easy. All you need to do is pick up 2 fields outside your current lane and deep dive. Learn them, study them, get to know everything about them. Then do a project that mixes both of them. Then keep a cross-link journal and keep capturing odd connections every day. Skill 5, meta learning and adaptability. You see, if 39% of the skills are obsolete by 2030, then the only real skill is learning how to learn. PwC calls this the meta skill. Employees who reskill continuously are 30% more likely to stay employed through the automation waves. Do you want to know a real story about IBM? You see, what IBM did is they retained tens of thousands of employees into AI and cloud. And instead of layoffs, they built adaptability into culture. Now, how do you build this? So run a 30-day learning sprints on topics you know nothing about. Then take feedbacks brutally and try to adjust. Keep a radar. Newsletters, reports, trends, articles. Just keep yourself updated and try to spot the signals early. Now I want you to pause for a while and think of these 5, which one feels like your weak spot. Once you figure it out, that's your gap to close before 2030. Now here's the kicker. These skills aren't optional. They are your survival currency of the future. Well, let's talk about that in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, then hit subscribe because the next video might answer the very question we just opened. I'll see you in the next one.